Thor! So it has begun! Look at what's become of this land! The land is hard! Like the skin of a dragon! Ragnarok is upon us! It is the end of our world!
There's always one who loves more, and one who's got their foot out the door. Who's to say which one's worse? Just as matters will hit at the liquor store. Oh, the liquor store. Everybody needs someone to make them crazy, roll right straight for the hills. Someone to love, 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 love.
It has begun!
The Wild Hunt cannot be stopped!
By Thor! Come one, come many. Kick-ass movie! It's gonna be wild! Thank you all. It'll be in many different languages, subtitled as well. No problem. The Wild Hunt should be checked out by audiences because too long they have forgotten the real sagas, that authentic spirit of imagination that makes you dream. Dreams are often shoved down your throat in too many of the films we see today, but the Wild Hunt is raw, authentic. It'll rise slowly like the smoke off a warm fire at night. You want to huddle close, but beware, the forest is a very dangerous place. If you are not careful, the Horned One will come and scratch at you. So join the Wild Hunt, otherwise be ravaged in its wake.
The Wonderwall.com question of the day is, what's your weirdest paparazzi experience?
My weirdest, which one? Hey, go ahead. Oh, yeah. My weirdest paparazzi experience is I was just here with Claudia Yurt, my co-star in Wild Hunt, and she kind of emails me, check out this photo on Facebook. So what it is that we check this photo, and let's redo it. Her eyes are closed, and I'm about to give her a hug, but it's like, so it was kind of a cupping of the natural curvature of Mother Nature that made for a very awkward paparazzi moment.
Yes.
So Facebook is evil.
How's the festival going thus far?
It's a lot of fun. We've seen a really great films. We were at the short film thing today that showed all the short films, and I was just blown away by the quality of these movies. It's incredible.
Are you looking forward to what's going to happen after seeing their show they just put on?
I'm very excited. I know it's about Vikings, and that's all I've heard so far.
There's a lot of mythology involved in the characters on screen. They built this entire mythology as far as who their characters are. How did you develop that? And what was some of it based on, or was any of it your own creation?
Well, mythology was very important. Specifically, I think that a lot of the mythology in this day and age is sort of disconnected from the myths that were built, where we come from. I mean, again, this is not a documentary on art, but rather, every child starts role-playing at the age of 2. It's a very psychological, Piaget thing, And then they role-play, and somewhere along the lines, you stop role-playing. You start focusing on one role. And that role may or may not be the one that's really closest to us, or the one that we really want. And the places to go explore what we should do and what we want to do are sometimes blurry. And so that was it. So for me, Wild Hunt, what is the Wild Hunt? It is a myth about rebirth. It existed in Northern Europe. This horned huntsman that would sort of charge in the forest. If you heard the howl, you'd either follow or become ravaged in its path. And we saw a film here yesterday, very interesting, Adrian's film, The Paparazzi. He talked very much about the parasocial relationship between these stars. And, well, there was a time when we all lived in small communities. There were no stars. Fishermen, and hunter, everyone knew everyone. But it's when this unbalance got more and more unbalanced. I think that's when you get a lot of suffocation, you get a lot of angst. And it's to the point that, in this day and age, even our schools seem not to be safe from, violent acts.
Yes, we did have some injuries, small, but actually it's more, it's not the actors were fine, except maybe 2 ankles, sprained ankle, but I have like 2 members of my crew just walking in the woods like this.
It would be freezing cold, -10, and you would shoot. Like, we couldn't call them, if you notice, we don't call them extras, as you were mentioning, Aaron, how could you, it's like a multi-thousand cast. Without their infectious passion, it couldn't be done. We call them warriors, because their passion was just there from beginning to end.
Well, actually, when I first read the description of the character, I thought there's nothing about this world that I don't know. And when I came in for the first audition, I played it like a man. I was one of the warriors. And the director just started saying, oh wow, I have new ideas for the script. And he said, okay, now try it like, you know, more female, like Angelina Jolie. And it didn't work. Okay, go back to that. And I said, I guess I just want to be a boy. And
Clash of the Titans. Like Alex went to see it, I didn't see it. And he's just like, what the hell? I'm not connected. I don't care. They're all perfect. And boom and bang. We're just losing that. So we wanted to create something more real, more raw. May 28th, U.S. theatrical release. So stay tuned. The hunt is not over. In fact, it has just begun.
What did you think of the feature?
It was pretty intense. I thought it was brilliant. There's so many levels. To a lot of people, it's just about role play and gaming. I took sociology in college, so to me, it was a group psychology experiment gone wrong. And if you really look deeper, the idea of the way that kids mimic what their friends are doing, and they may go out on a Saturday night to have a good time, and one of them will start, you know, I don't know, throw a rock at a car. And next thing you know, you've got kids throwing rocks through cars who never would have done anything like that. And that's pretty deep.
I think the Wild Hunt was amazing. Definitely the surprise of the festival thus far. I think it was, you know, I didn't really know what to expect. The preview kind of made it look like Colonel Kurtz meets LARPers a little bit, and I was kind of into that, but I thought it could maybe take a little bit of a heavy hand, but it eased into the group mentality psychology a lot, and I think it's somewhere that everybody's been, and I think that somewhere is high school. Like if you sort of split the theater kids and the band kids, it's like there's that sort of intensity there, and you never really want to set them against each other because that's the sort of like passion, like this group mentality passion that you got.
I thought it was great. It drew people in. It's a subject matter that's not really appreciated by a lot of people, but gamers are becoming far more part of culture, subculture. And the end was very shocking and surprising.
I thought it was a very strong performance, and I love the subject matter. I'm all about myths.
What did I think of the short film, Charlie and the Rabbit? I liked it. I think one of the things about it that was really, really interesting that you don't see with a lot of short films is like a really big focus on sound design, which especially when you have like a child actor, it's really, really good because like all his emotion was put to the sound design.
It was really simple. It was really a great, almost like narrative documentary in some ways, and it was just really adorable.
I think that a film festival helps re-energize you and makes you want to keep doing what you love because you see people happy and celebrating film. That's great. It's a good thing to do.
It's inspiring, for sure. It actually gets your motor running because you see possibility.
Now you showed at the Gen Art Festival a few years back. Can you talk about the experience?
Oh, it was probably like the most fun film festival we went to. It was like an amazing like festival because you got to see all the other people's films instead of like not being able to, you know, where festivals that have tons and tons of films, feeling like you can't see everything. And then like the way that they honor the filmmakers by having like these huge parties after, it totally makes you feel like a superstar. I don't think we've ever felt like that since.
My name is DavidJr.com.